I work in radio. I work for Clear Channel Media and Entertainment. My bosses would yell at me if I didn't say the full name. So yeah, I work at Clear Channel, and yeah, I produce shows, and I'm kind of like behind the scenes kind of guy. I produce a lot of talk shows, sports shows, a lot of paid programming, stuff like that. I actually am the producer for the Tampa Bay Lightning. I produce all their games on the radio.
Where did you, or how did you find us, the Trivia Factory?
I actually found you from school. One of my instructors, she emailed me. I guess anything that comes her way that's kind of related to mass communications, she will just forward to all her students, and this was one of them.
Well, thank you, teacher.
Yeah.
Give me just some brief background on that experience, becoming a trivia host.
It was a little nerve-wracking in the beginning. You know, you go out and you're not exactly sure what to expect, but you watch the videos, and then you go out there, you sit in with a host a time or two, and then once you're on your own, it is a little nerve-wracking at first, but you get the hang of it, and you kind of figure out what you can do to make it simpler. Everyone's different, so what you do is totally different than maybe a different host does, but some of the techniques you use, you just try to make it simpler on you, and it makes it less stressful. But I'd say that was the biggest challenge, was getting over the fact that it's trivia. These people are out here just having a good time. It's not anything to stress out over. It's just, you know, you're the trivia host. You're reading some questions. Of course, you're engaging the audience and stuff like that. But it's you know, it's not. There are no lives at stake here. You're asking trivia questions. People are drinking beer, and people want to win some prizes of whatever the bar is giving away. So that's what you got to realize, is not that big of a deal. It's a lot of fun. It's probably the best gig ever, you know.
Just what was your experience as the first question you've ever asked on the microphone?
Yeah, actually I do remember my first show I hosted. I went and grabbed food from Burger King, and I was eating it in my car. And I remember not having a good time eating it because I was so anxious. So I definitely remember that. It was at a World of Beer location, and I remember being pretty nervous. And you know, once you go in and you ask that first question, I think it's just setting everything up, getting everything started. You just want to make sure that it starts up okay, like smoothly. I think that's the biggest worry, is in the beginning, getting it all set up. Once it starts off smoothly, you're good to go. You go on your trivia ride. I think one of the biggest things that I need to work on starting trivia, and I think it's probably going to be the case for many hosts, is you know, introducing trivia, saying welcome to the venue, welcome to trivia, introducing yourself, that kind of thing. I think that many hosts, maybe like myself, get way too stressed out and forget to do all that stuff and just roll right into trivia because they're kind of anxious. So I think that was the biggest challenge.
Do you still get nervous?
A little bit. Not nearly as much as in the beginning, but no, definitely not close to anything in the beginning. But you know, there's a little thing there, and then you know, you get in the middle of the show, you're like, what the hell was I getting nervous about? You know, it's all gravy. So.
Well, where do you host most of the time?
I do the Monday show at World of Beer at West Chase. That's a busy show. There are a lot of regular teams that come every week. They live for trivia, basically. It's their why hate Mondays when I just go do trivia after work, you know, kind of thing. So there were 18 teams this past Monday. It was jam-packed, pretty intense, and it can get crazy. As you can see, when you start doing trivia your first time, when you get 5 teams, it's kind of crazy. So it gets pretty intense. And like I said, you get your routine, so it gets easier. But as far as my routine, you know, I download the questions beforehand. I download the playlist beforehand. I use Spotify. Make sure I have everything on my computer as if the internet were to go out when I'm at my show. So I don't rely on the internet for my entire show. So I'm not gonna...
All right, let's talk about cheating. Cheaters. I'm not talking about Joey Greco. I'm talking about trivia teams. It's annoying for everybody to deal with. How do you deal with it?
I always make an announcement before the show starts, you know, not to cheat, and it's no fun, no use of cell phones, no laptops, nothing that accesses the internet. I always say that everything must come from your brain.
Let's talk about filler words, like so, all right, that kind of thing. What's one of the big issues you had as a host, or maybe you still have, of getting over the filler word trap?
Oh, there might be filler words I still use and I'm not even aware of. You know, it's one of those things that you do and you don't realize it. I think once everyone turns their answers in, the song's over, they turn their answers in, you need to start off with maybe the subject of the question, or just go into the question or something like that, instead of going, so number 17 was geography. You know, you got to go right into the question. For hosting purposes, you really should stick to the question.
You're doing a good job not using filler words during that little rant.
I felt a little pressure when I answered this question about not using filler words. I think one of the ones I use a lot is, you know. I use you know a lot.
You know? Yeah, all right. Let's get to the next category. That's pretty annoying.
So, yeah.
Give me a gimmick that you do during your show, maybe to make the show better, I guess, is a better way to say it.
So say you have, I don't know, you have 8 teams or something like that, and you ask a question, and, you know, majority of them, say like 6 or 7 of them answer X, but then you got that one or two teams that answer the correct answer, which is why I might go on, and when I present the correct answer, I might say X, and then everyone cheers, everyone thinks X is the correct answer, and I say is incorrect. The actual answer is Y, and then they're all, you know, having a
they have that in your face moment, right?
Yeah, they kind of like gave up their hopes, but you know, they might seem upset, but they're enjoying it. They're really enjoying it. You know, it makes the show fun. It's not like dry. You're not just asking questions; they're turning in answers. It makes more of a show. It makes more of an event.
So how do you inject comedy into your show without being Mr. Comedian Trivia host? Because there is a fine line of punchline, question, screwing around, a casual joke. There's so many ways to look at it, because in my opinion, and I don't want to get, this isn't about me, it's about you, but in my opinion, this is not a comedy show, but there still is opportunity for comedy to come out.
Oh yeah, definitely. I think the biggest problem is when people, maybe a host will say, make a little joke and then pause, waiting for a reaction.
And there's no reaction.
And there's no reaction. I say the best way to go about making a joke is maybe make the joke, but make it a little subtle. So maybe you'll get a team or two that gets it, or best case scenario, everybody gets it. But don't just pause and wait for everyone applauding you and laughing like it's the most hilarious thing ever. You know, it's like no, I'm like I gotta go. That was good though.
No, but I'm gonna.
I like how you did that during the comedy spiel. Right. That was good. That was good. But yeah, all their games on the radio.
And that obviously takes away from your trivia availability.
Yes, it does. We'll talk about that later.
Oh, so wait, you had the shits during your first trivia show.
I know that doesn't help either. It doesn't help with the anxiety, but a little bit.
So, all right. So, give me a little gimmick. See, I just did a filler word. So I did 2 in one question. I did 2 filler words. Damn it. Let's start this over, and I'll edit this out. No, I won't.
Don't do that.
No. And I did it again. See how easy it is?
Is the worst one.
Say what?
So, yeah.